Hey everyone, Garbage here. So there's a reason why old PlayStation and N64 games look the way that they do, and it might not be what you think. So here we have a low poly model similar to what you might find in an old PlayStation game, but if we put it in a modern game engine using modern lighting and rendering techniques, it looks nothing like a game from that era. But why? The first thing we need to look at are the shadows in the scene. More importantly, we need to look at how those shadows are made. In this case, I'm using a directional light source, and if we were to change its direction, we can see the shadows changing as well in real time. This is called dynamic lighting, and it's used very extensively in modern video games. This was possible back in the N64 days, and sometimes it was used to achieve various effects, but due to technical limitations, it wasn't used to light up an entire scene like we have here. So let's go ahead and remove the directional light. In fact, let's get rid of the ambient lighting as well so we have nothing but pure darkness. And then instead of using a light source to light up the scene, we'll just display the base color of the textures, essentially assigning fixed colors to various parts of the model. And already you can see things are starting to look more retro. This is what models look like when they're unshaded or unlit, as some people say. And as you can imagine, it's very good for performance on older consoles because it's just displaying the base color and doesn't require any external light source or additional lighting calculations in order to see it. Of course, it means you don't get any dynamic shadows unless you fake them, and things tend to look a little bit flat. But there are ways to work around this. One way is by using vertex colors to manually draw shadows onto the 3D mesh itself, baking that color data into the model so the computer doesn't have to calculate it on the fly. Similarly, shadows and highlights can be manually drawn into the textures of the model. For example, for Diva, we see the artist has drawn in shadows under her chin, her boobs, and her hair to give the illusion of depth without increasing the complexity of her low poly model. And combining all of these techniques together, you get something that has a very convincing 90s video game look. And that's before we get into all the other stuff people talk about, like vertex wobbling, affine texture mapping, Z-buffer craziness, and whatever else. And make no mistakes, these are all important when trying to hone in on a very specific look. But ultimately, it's the lighting, or lack thereof, that is largely responsible for that retro vibe. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if there are any other video game looks or mechanics that you'd like me to explain. Come check out my second channel and my Twitch channel where I live stream most days of the week. This week we're playing CSGO and Rainbow Six Siege. Come check it out. Links to everything as well as my Twitter and Discord down below. Like, subscribe, bell, and as always, have a nice day.